Sanya, Malhotra, welcome to 94.3 Radio 1, and from me, Hrishi K, and everybody who's listening. How fabulous were you in photograph? That Miloni just stole our hearts away.
Thank you so much, Hrishi. That's so sweet of you.
So your best friend Fatty acted with Siddhant Chaturvedi. So what is the report she gave you in that commercial that she did? So, or did you know him already before this?
No, I didn't actually. I met him, I think our first meeting was in the studio itself. But I've seen him act, and he's so good in Gully Boy. Yaar. He's an amazing actor. And he has done a wonderful job with the dub also. So, उसके अलावा I don't know him. देखते हैं.
But all your female friends will be saying, "Yeah, बड़ा handsome है." Oh, wow, how was it?
Because somebody wanted it, and I told him कि ये तो मैं बेचने वाली हूँ. तो you just wait and watch. ये तुम्हारा number सबके पास भेज दूँगी मैं.
Apart from that, the fact that both of you love dance, he seems to be a bit of a dancer. You, of course, are an accomplished dancer.
I've seen him dance, but I've heard that he's really good dancer. So I don't know. Maybe we can do a dance film together. I'm also waiting for someone to give me a dance film. So cast both of us, please.
Cast both of you, correct. So, how many movies are now sync sound, and how many are the ones that you dub, which is your regular Hindi films? Or are you used to the dubbing process right from the beginning?
No, for Dangal, I think that was my first time that we didn't do dubbing, but I dubbed one line, and I was shocked because that was my first experience. And I saw it. I remember when that scene came on screen, and I was looking at other people. Did they notice it's looking different? Because I could only see it. I could only make out that I have dubbed the line, and it was different. But I'm used to it now. I used to be very scared with dubbing because all the films are sync sound now. Dubbing is a very tricky process. It's like acting in front of the mic with no camera around. For photograph, we actually dubbed, I think, 80% of the film because we shot the film outside, and there was a lot of traffic noise and other stuff. So it was very tricky, and I was kind of scared of Miloni to relive her life. I knew what I used to think while shooting for it. It was a very tricky process. So 3 दिन का काम 5 दिन में stretch हुआ, and even Ritesh was like, "Oh my God, you take a lot of time with dub." But then I got used to it. I think Pataka was we did dub a lot for Pataka, but I enjoyed it so much. It's like the last process of filmmaking, but it's I would say आखिरी मौका to relive your character, and it's fun. With MIB, it was a different story altogether because I was not on screen. It was for Tessa, and to know what she was feeling, to actually make it more comprehensible for the audience. I think it's a tricky process, but it's interesting.
Sanya, at one level they give you the pilot track, which is, I think, the English dialogue, because you have to match the timing of it, isn't it? But I've noticed that you've done your own thing. I mean, you haven't really followed her voice cue. You're Sanya Malhotra playing an MIB agent. Yeah. How difficult is that? I mean, because sometimes it can throw you off. MC shit. How are you, brother?
I'm great. How are you?
Excellent. So the pilot track plays, which is in English and which is in the original Hollywood artist's voice. Doesn't that throw you off a little? I mean, I personally think it's a damn difficult art. If you've done it for your own voice, is different.
For 2 days, to be honest, I was a little, oh my God, what is happening? Can we lower down the volume? Can we up the volume a little bit? But then they have a script ready. We did improvise a lot according to he has improvised a lot according to himself, and then I also did a few tweaks here and there. But it's a fun process. It's very difficult to get the timing right, I would say. Not the emotion bit, but because I just it's acting in front of the mic and not in front of the camera.
Bro, I was just asking her what reports did she get from her best friend, because you did an advertisement, a commercial with Fatty.
Yeah.
And how was that? There must have been great fun.
So I know her since my college days. We've shot an ad. Yeah, Mithe bhai. And we've shot an ad together before this, as models. And I watched Dangal and I was blown away by both of them, the performances, and I was still trying. And I met Fatty, I remember, and I told her कि मैं आ रहा हूँ. and I didn't know that. I had that there was nothing in my, there was nothing there. But I was just, there was this hope that I'm gonna. And that day when we arrived on the, at the shoot, and we were like, okay, we're doing this as brand ambassadors, and we are here. It's a next level feeling because, going back to my college days, she was like, she had a minor crush on her in my college. Yeah.
Arre!
Time to report back to Fatty, Sanya.
Hello, Fatty.
Yeah. So yeah, she was one of the coolest girls I know. And in college, she was like she was so
She was the bomb.
She was. No, she was like out there. She was like, koi dhar nahi, kuch nahi, and I was like a very shy.
I just know that she used to wear black all the time. She told
Yeah.
like this goth chick.
Yeah.
in college.
So you must have been one hell of a magnet back in your college days in Delhi.
I was in girls' college.
So what? Enough guys lining outside the college just to catch you. I mean, you ace choreographer even in college, yeah?
I was a part of the choreography team in college. Actually, I was an ACA student. That's how I got into my college, through dance, because of dancing. So, I don't know. No, yeah.
You're just being modest.
Yeah, she's a very good dancer. She's a very good dancer.
I was just saying, she says she would love to do a film with you where both of you are dancing, because everybody knows now your dancing skills are so cool because you just talk about how passionate you are.
All us.
Yeah, because I don't put much on my social media. I'm actually saving it for the film which we'll be doing in future. So yeah, I'm very much. That's how I got the film. When Zoya saw me dancing in a party. Yeah, that's how I was dancing on "Tujhko Mirchi Lagi to Main Kya Karu." Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how.
It happens. You go to a filmy party and, you dance and...
I think that you don't get work going to parties. I think I should also start going to these films.
So this was inside Edge success party, and she was there, and she hadn't seen the show, but she was just there because it's the same production, And I was dancing, and then I played Galla Ghuniya, and I totally charmed her in that dance.
Galla Ghuniya के तो steps मुझे भी आते हैं.
So he knew from the Sanya, he knew from the side of his vision that, Zoya's watching him. So it's time to pull her onto the dance floor.
Very nice, sir. Good one.
Completely as an aside, because you mentioned Mitty Boy, I went to Xavier's. Have you gone back to the Vada Pav guy at Mitty Boy, and what are the reactions post MC?
So I tried going once, and it was, I couldn't, kind of, and मज़ा नहीं आया यार वड़ा पाव खाने में. अब पता पहले कोई आराम से खा रहे हैं,
But did the Vada Pav wala recognize you? Obviously, if you
yeah, he did. I was more of a dosa person, There's so he recognized me, and it's a very different feeling, yeah. It's.
Have you done that? You went to Gargi, yeah. Have you gone back to Gargi after passing out and after becoming the Sanya Malhotra?
College fest. I was the chief guest there. It was insane. I met my psychology department, and they used to hate me when I was in college because I used to hardly attend any class. But all the teachers were really happy to see me, and I was like, अब देखो कितनी खुश हो रही है देख के पहले तो. But I think our batch was the last batch for annual examination, like last batch of Delhi University and their annual examination. So we used to not attend classes at all, and I used to be very active with my dance society. But it was such a good feeling, yeah, to be back in college. He met the Vada Pav guy, I met my Nescafe wale bhaiya.
I have to share this with you. I mean, the movie company flew us down to Australia, Rajiv Masand, myself, to do interviews for Thor. And the moment Chris Hemsworth walks in, it's difficult not to have a man crush on the guy. And he's just so incredibly polite, and then...
He's one of the coolest person I've met him. Yeah, he's very cool. He's casual. Nothing about him. It's just like, yeah, okay, hi, what's up? It's that cool, and I didn't know. I mean, I was like, what am I gonna speak to him? But he knew about Gully Boy. Yeah.
Bro, I swear, I wish I'd met you before you met him, because in Australia, I had a huge 7-minute chat about him being a bowler. And you played a bowler in Inside Edge. And how he was like, he was a bowler and he was a fast bowler, this and that.
Yeah, I know. So, but Inside Edge, going back to my cricketing days, Inside Edge. Yeah, so that's a connection, I guess, but hum hi jeetenge World Cup.
Nice to add that one in. So, Tessa, I mean, it's always nice to know who you're dubbing for in terms of being familiar with their work. Valkyrie, have you seen Avengers?
I haven't, but I've seen MIB and she's amazing in it. She's absolutely good.
Yeah, and I love that whole scene where Emma Thompson's turning around and you asking her, saying, Men in Black? And she goes,
दुखती रथ पे हाथ मत दुखती रथ पे हाथ मत लगाओ मैं काम कर रही हूँ इस पे.
So, what is the character here? I mean, she kicks ass, she kicks butt, and the dialogues are you said you've improvised a little bit. What kind of stuff have you improvised?
I think it cannot be a literal translation ना अभी कुछ तो it has to be relatable for the Indian audience, and I think relatability comes from Bollywood, so he has added some Bollywood.
He had some famous lines to go by.
So the culture is different, the humor is different, and if you try to literally translate it, I think we lose the essence of the scene,
We used to do that earlier. That literal.
So what had happened? So when I was a kid, I used to watch the MIB in Hindi. Will Smith. Bidu, kya bol raha, Bidu, Anna. It was hilarious, but then something happened and then started translating it, and then the fun was lost. So I have this nostalgic, connection to this film where I went to my school and I thought it's so cool, because I used to mimic all of this. And then also so the dubbing is, this is my first time dubbing for a film, but I should dub live. So what used to happen when we were bored in a lecture, in my CA classes as well. So my sir's, writing and he's speaking something, or, so we used to sit in, we were not the last benches, but in the middle row, and I used to literally dub what he's he's saying, and I used to dub and that was really censored, which I can't.
What a badmash.
So I used to dub that. Yeah, I used to dub, and random things to match his lips I used to keep doing, because just to entertain the row, because CA classes are very boring. Yeah, it's 6 hours, 7 hours, so you just need some entertainment, and I was the one who was usually speaking about it. So he used to be just writing and saying things, and I used to be to maine yeah, can't.
No, but seriously, I mean, I'm so glad that the whole natural process of dubbing and acting is coming, because you see some of those old Jackie Chan films. Master, I've come from Shaolin, and the lips are going somewhere, and the dialogue is badly dubbed Chinese.
Yeah. We have.
It's very. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so.
And suddenly there'll be this hot gal coming, and Suli has come from the temple of Shaolin.
Yeah, I know. And the best part, so at times what they used to do, so I think even in English, the guys used to dub for the English version. They used to be somehow they had a very weird accent to it. Hindi nahi.
Must have been done in Hong Kong.
Yeah, something, the very weird accent, and that was so funny, because everybody had the same voice, everybody had the same modulation, girl, boy also,
and every guy was doing 2-3 characters, because from a Chinese it used to be dubbed to English and then to Hindi.
Yeah, it was so funny, and that used to be a lot of fun. But I think my favorite childhood dubbing, dubbed films are Bad Boys. MIB Bad Boys was next level dub. It's so funny. You should actually, Deadpool again after a long time. In fact, he inspired, when I watched it, I haven't watched Deadpool 2 in English, I watched it in Hindi, and just because of Ranveer, I watched with my whole gang, and I messaged him, and he's like, "Arey, tu English mein Hindi mein dekh raha hai?" I was like, "Haan yaar, matlab Hindi mein hi maza, because it's hilarious." And that's how I got, the guts to actually take this up. I was like, "Yaar, let's make something, around, let's make it fun." So, and I think one of the best dubbings, Deadpool, in Hindi.
Or sorry, I'm going to kill the buzz, but Harry Potter.
Of course, yeah.
See now, Harry Potter, yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
Those are baritones you have to cast, Dumbledore and all that. But have you seen the
खाने का दरवाजा खुल गया.
Titles and all of that.
Harry Potter.
आग का गोला, आग का प्याला, goblet of fire, yeah.
Have you seen the previous MIBs, or Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones? Who would you pick?
The first one, Will Smith one. Yeah, it was this one would be my second favorite, but Will Smith one was my all-time favorite MIB.
Will Smith kind of person, Tommy Lee Jones kind of person.
Tommy.
He can do anything. He's a magician.
Yeah. So Tommy, yeah, for sure.
Wow, that is an answer.
Who's in my team?
I'm in a team.
So here you guys in a dark room, you know. I find it very fascinating. You're completely in a dark room. You have no memory of doing it on the set because obviously you haven't done it on the set. How do you get the energy out? I mean, it's a bit of method acting, isn't it? I mean, if you have to do an action sequence, do you actually do the sounds of getting shot and beaten and
Yeah, we did.
yeah,
We had to.
So that's also part of the whole thing.
Yes, but exactly. You can't do it like, I don't know. You have to act it out.
So me, yeah, even I act it out. Like if he's like wearing his glasses, I do that and I say the lines, just to feel it.
Feel right.
And if he's falling, then I'll also like do a bit, not much. ये नहीं कि पूरा dubbing studio हिल गया, but a little bit.
Mic लेके कोई साथ में जा रहा है.
Sir, no, like, but a bit of movement I think is needed. It's very, it comes organically then.
I also love the whole marketing campaign around it. I mean, Sony Pictures done such a great job. That teaser where the briefcases were coming to you guys. Was that your actual houses or just a set?
That was my friend's house. Friend's house, yeah.
One office.
One office. Yeah, good. And that must have been fun to shoot. I mean, because there's some special effects. You're getting into your gear.
Yeah, and stop motion. I think
That's when we met for the first time. I think we met, like we interacted basically. Yeah, that was
True.
the first time we met. And it was fun. It was short and quick, and we had a lot of fun. In fact, we pulled off a prank in the elevator. So basically, we were in the elevator, and somebody pressed the button, so we went up. And we were like, oh, let's not move, let's just stand. And we were like, suited up and in glasses and everything. And we were just standing, and that person is like, whoa. And still that, yeah.
not. And we weren't saying anything. We were just standing.
She gave it off. She was smiling. And like, stop smiling. Just be like serious. And she's just, and I think it was a girl, right?
Somebody should have a girl and a boy.
And she was standing and she was just looking, and she's like, oh my god. And I didn't know if she's saying oh my god because she knows us, or it was because who are these guys. And then she's standing, and as soon as the lift the elevator opened on the ground floor, everybody is standing outside with cameras and all, and everybody's laughing. That was fun, but she gave it off.
No, but the classic lift scene in Hollywood cinema in any case is, men in suits, in dark glasses, and keeping the hands very close to each other. Like in India, we let our hands go anywhere in the lift. So that's literally a classic lift shot of the lift. Agree or not?
No, we did it in our Indian way where we were dancing. We were dancing. We are Desi and we are happy about it.
Very Bollywood we are. Dance तो हम कहीं पे भी कर सकते हैं.
That was our idea, by the way.
Yeah. Choreographer, dancer.
हाँ मैं.
You also taught yoga in between somewhere?
Madam?
Listen,
Woman of many talents.
I had no work. So these aunties in my society, they were like, "अच्छा आप yoga भी जानते हैं?" मैं कहा, "Yeah, I do it." And it was not for money, but they were really nice to me. So after 1 month, they gave me some money. I had like no work. Delhi से Bombay आए, कुछ काम नहीं, पैसे नहीं. So it was a good 1 month job.
What do you do when you have no work? Sleep through the day? So a lot of us do that when we don't have work.
Now or
Earlier. Now, of course, it's difficult to get a chance, but
Very busy.
now you're a star. MC Sherman.
earlier, so my schedule was I used to wake up and I used to look outside the window, think what am I going to do today, because auditions you can go for like twice or thrice a week. What else do you do? So I used to paint, I used to write, I used to do martial arts, I used to dance. I was just preparing myself as if somebody has told me कि तू launch होने वाला बेटा. So my dad always told me कि I was like, Dad, there's no work, nothing. He's like, treat it as your summer vacation. तेरी गर्मियों की छुट्टियाँ चल रही हैं, and you just keep preparing yourself. The time will come.
Bro, you got to go back and complete your CA, man. That'll be it now, if you go back and do it.
I'm quite keen on doing that. Only if I get a script where I'm a chartered accountant, I might just go method,
तो कर चुकी हूँ अपना CA. And I've topped in photograph. As Meloni, not.
Correct, and she has a photograph of the coaching class photograph.
Yeah.
Have you seen photograph? You have to
I know about it.
It's on
I think
Amazon.
I know about it. I have watched. I think I've watched the first 10-15 minutes, and then
Then you couldn't.
My parents have watched it.
Okay.
So, you remember your dubbing director?
So much good.
Arey no, yaar, not because I love Nawaz. I love you. I love your performance. My parents have watched it and they've loved it. Yeah.
So, do you remember your dubbing director's name? I mean, or were there a lot of people?
Sean. Yeah, so he was so good. We had a great time. We were laughing all because we were improving, didn't go by the script. Because we started off, with a bass and, going like that, but it was falling flat. You can't mimic and translate. It's a desi version, so much of humor is lost in that. So we are like, let's make it desi, let's make it quirky, and the character also of Chris is a little, phela hua, thoda, so it's like, okay, let's go out. So we were having a great time. We were laughing, we used to just come up with lines. And sir, ये डाले क्या? मैंने बोला कैसा ओके एक बार प्ले कर बोल के देखता हूँ तो अगर एक्शन के साथ जा रहा है वो तो मजा आता था it used to be.
And the other character, which is the kind of like an alien or whatever that character is saying things like hard H and hard.
Pawnee, yeah.
So
Pyadu in Hindi version.
मैं चिंट्या बोल रहा हूँ.
So Pyadu's script is also written by you.
No. They had something in mind, but we didn't go all out with the Gully Boy thing. I think some bits which you only see in the trailer, but we've kept it pan-India, which is like normal. But there are bits of, because the lingo which really caught up after Gully Boy. So a little bit of is there, but not too much.
I love the way you do all these dance videos on Instagram. Please never, ever stop. How does it happen? Do you guys just wake up one day and say, "Ye karte hain," or you and the choreographer, you and Fatty, or do you plan this stuff?
No, we don't plan it at all. So we do the choreography for 1 hour and then 1 hour we're like just
1 hour.
Yeah.
Just bang it out.
And those are like
Amazing. Okay, last few questions before I wrap. Now, we're doing a drive to save the environment because if you know what's happening in Versova Beach, Afro Shah has been cleaning up Versova Beach and the plastics just keeps coming back. What is happening in the Chaturvedi household in terms of saving the environment? What steps have you taken?
Well, first it starts with the basic, with the laundry kind of a thing, so I help my mom mostly, in everything because I, sometimes because my mom's maybe she's not aware of a lot of things, so I keep, I kind of help her in my household work. Tissue paper is something which I really, I avoid using most of the times. So maybe a sanitizer or something which I carry. Then plastic bottles are being totally replaced by copper, which is also healthy and also, to just cut out. And bags, paper bags, instead of plastic, because plastic is something which is just, the whole system will be, not using the word, but yeah.
Incidentally, Salman Khan used the word with me last week.
Yeah.
But he's Salman Khan. so in the Malhotra house, I know you miss your mom terribly. I mean, there's a lovely video of you. She's with you now. There's a lovely video of you two dancing, and I was like, oh my god. So stuff that's happening in the Malhotra household to save the environment.
So no plastic, as he said. I have stopped using plastic bottles, and now I'm doing one thing. I'm trying to divide my waste, like with plastic and the biodegradable one and non-biodegradable one. The one that is not like is a complete. I'm just trying to cut down my waste and completely. I'm trying to completely avoid plastic, whether it's shampoo bottles or the normal plastic stuff that you get for your household. So that and electricity.
Straws are the most commonly used, which you don't even think about. There's one picture I put on Instagram with a Starbucks thing with a straw, and somebody messaged me because I read all the DMs and it's fun. So somebody messaged me that's when I realized, oh my god, that's something I've stopped.
I use a steel straw, and it's been, I think, good 1 year that I have not used
it. Straws as well. Steel straws, I'm a little afraid. What if I just hit my teeth and
It won't.
Okay, Sanya answered this during photographs. I'm going to ask you, we're doing something called Run with Radio 1. What's your cardio routine? Do you run? Do you jog? Do you do interval training? Do you go out in the open? Do you do a treadmill?
I hate the treadmill. I just simply hate the machines. I'm more of a martial artist, so I'd rather do my kicks and dancing, of course. Just put music in my ears and then just start moving.
So you don't run at all? You don't do cardio?
My cardio is my jumping and my martial arts. I think that's enough. I'm runner. I'm more of a sprinter. So I'll sprint maybe, but it's most of it's yeah. It's for me. It's jumping. I'm a jumper basically. I jump a lot, and kick and jump and flip and all of that. So,
A travel destination you went to and said, "Wow, this is so cool."
Georgia, not the Eastern European country, Georgia. Yeah, that's
What's so amazing about it? The food, the landscape, what?
it's very simple. I don't like places with a lot of tech and modern. It's a very traditional, old school kind. English, and yeah, it's not too hot, not too cold. The people are sweet there, and
Shot something.
yeah, the inside edge too. That's when I got to travel, and the food. And you know what? They chai is something which so they call tea. It's the same thing. They call it chai, and puri ko wo log puri bolte hain. It's the same. It's a common word, and I didn't know. Puri and chai are the two common words we have.
The puri that you
Puri,
have
yeah,
with
exactly.
bhaji.
Yeah, puri means bread, right? And so they call it puri, and chai, tea, they call it chai.
Why? Yaar?
Wow, one world. What's your favorite decade? Do you like the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s for fashion, or the 2000s? Fashion, pop culture, anything?
I think the 60s or the
Why?
70s. मतलब गाने यार.
R.D. Burman.
Music. R.D. Burman.
Fashion, bell bottoms.
Bell bottoms and those winged liner with like really big hairdos. I think 70s and 60s.
Last question. Who's your BFF, bro, and why?
BFF as in like in the
Best friend forever, man.
oh, but in the industry or like just
Anywhere. In
हाँ अलग होते हैं अब सीख लो ये सारी
इसका आंसर मैं बताऊंगा कितने हैं इसके दिल्ली वाले.
मेरे BFF 2-3 हैं मेरे जब CA टाइम से मेरे जो दोस्त हैं those are my friends and they are still my friends and they mock me they make fun of me and
They imitate you doing MC shit.
they are gonna be I know I'm gonna take them for the screening and they're gonna just pura bajao fine will happen. So they are my BFFs. I share everything and I'm the best part is I'm what I am. That doesn't affect them. Me being some MC share or whatever. For them is like I'm seeing like memes like oh we need a friend like MC. We have one and what? We don't care. It's like we have one and it's like no we they should come and interview us. They're like yeah.
हम सच्चाई
Sar dard hai ye.
And your favorite decade would be?
My favorite decade would be I think the 90s. Yeah, the 90s best. थोड़ा पैंट ऊपर पहन के colorful clothes में. Ting, ting, ting.
The Backstreet Boys.
So, yeah, and Govinda, more of a Govinda 90s, and oversized t-shirts, everything like Shah Rukh from all his films, Deewana, and big shirts and oh yeah, and sideburns, sideburns.
Love you guys. I can't wait to see MIB International. Thank you, Sanya.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Say that.
MIB International in Hindi.
Men in Black.